Anton Chekhov, The Proposal.
The scene is laid at Chekhov's country house, a drawing room in Chekhov's house. Lemov enters wearing a dress jacket and white gloves. Chekhov rises to meet him.
My dear fellow, whom do I see? Ivan Vasilievich! I am extremely glad. Now this is a surprise, my darling. How are you?
Thank you. And how may you be getting on?
We just get along somehow, my angel, to your prayers and so on. Sit down, please do. Now, you know, you shouldn't forget all about your neighbors, my darling. My dear fellow, why are you so formal in your get-up? Evening dress, gloves, and so on? Can you be going anywhere, my treasure?
No, I've come only to see you, honored Stepan Stepanovich.
Then why are you in evening dress, my precious? As if you're paying a New Year's Eve visit.
Well, you see, it's like this. I've come to you, honored Stepan Stepanovich, to trouble you with a request. Not once or twice have I already had the privilege of applying to you for help, and you have always, so to speak, I must ask your pardon. I am getting excited. I shall drink some water, honored Stepan Stepanovich.
He's come to borrow money. Shan't give him any. What is it, my beauty?
You see, honor Stepanich, I beg pardon, Stepan Honorich. I mean, I'm awfully excited, as you will please notice. In short, you alone can help me, though I don't deserve it, of course, and haven't any right to count on your assistance.
Oh, don't go round and round it, darling. Spit it out. Well?
One moment. This very minute. The fact is, I've come to ask the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stepanovna, in marriage.
By Jove! Ivan Vasilievich! Say it again. I didn't hear it at all.
I have the honor to ask.
My dear fellow, I'm so glad. Yes, indeed. And all that sort of thing. Mwah! Mwah! I've been hoping for it for a long time. It's been my continual desire. And I've always loved you. My angel, as if you were my own son. May God give you both his health and his love and so on. And I did so much hope. Why, what am I behaving in this idiotic way for? I'm off my balance with joy, absolutely off my balance. Oh, with all my soul. I'll go and call Natasha and all that.
Honored Stepan Stepanovich, do you think I may count on your consent?
Why, of course, my darling. And as if she won't consent. She's in love, egad. She's like a lovesick cat and so on. Shan't be long.
It's cold. I am trembling all over, just as if I'd got an examination before me. The great thing is, I must have my mind made up. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an ideal or for real love, then I'll never get married. Ooh, it's cold. Natalia Stepanovna is an excellent housekeeper. Not bad looking, well educated. What more do I want? But I'm getting a noise in my ears from excitement. And it's impossible for me not to marry in the first place. I'm already 35, a critical age, so to speak. In the second place, I ought to lead a quiet and regular life. I suffer from palpitations, I'm excitable, and always getting awfully upset. At this very moment, my lips are trembling, and there's a twitch in my right eyebrow, but the worst of all is the way I sleep. I no sooner get into bed and begin to go off when suddenly something in my left side gives a pull, and I can feel it in my shoulder and my head. I jump up like a lunatic, walk a bit, and lie down again. But as soon as I begin to get off to sleep, there's another pull. And this may happen 20 times.
Well, there it's you. And Papa said, go, there's a merchant come for his goods. How do you do, Ivan Vasilovich?
How do you do, Natalia Stepanovna?
You must excuse my apron and negligee. We're shelling peas for drying. Why haven't you been here for such a long time? Sit down. Won't you have some lunch?
Oh, no, thank you. I've already had some.
Then smoke. Here are the matches. The weather is splendid now, but yesterday it was so wet that the workmen didn't do anything all day. How much hay have you stacked? Just think, I felt greedy and had a whole field cut, and now I'm not at all pleased about it because I'm afraid my hay may rot. I ought to have waited a bit. Oh, but what's this? Why, you're in evening dress. Well, I never. Are you going to a ball or what? Though I must say you look better. Tell me, why are you got up like that?
You see, honored Natalia Stepanovna, the fact is I've made up my mind to ask you to hear me out. Of course, you'll be surprised and perhaps even angry, but it's awfully cold.
What's the matter? Well?
I shall try to be brief. You must know, honored Natalia Stepanovna, that I have long, since my childhood in fact, and had the privilege of knowing your family. My late aunt and her husband, from whom, as you know, I inherited my land, always had the greatest respect for your father and your late mother. The Lomovs and the Chekhov have always had the most friendly, and I might almost say the most affectionate regard for each other. And as you know, my land is a near neighbor of yours. You will remember that my oxen meadows touch your birch woods.
Excuse me, my interrupting you. You say my oxen meadows, but are they yours?
Yes, mine.
What are you talking about? Oxen meadows are ours, not yours.
No, mine, honored Natalia Stepanovna.
Well, I never knew that before. How do you make that out?
How? I'm speaking of those oxen meadows which are wedged in between your birch woods and the burnt marsh.
Yes, they're ours.
No, you're mistaken, honored Natalia Stepanovna. They're mine.
Just think, Ivan Vasilovich, how long have they been yours?
How long? As long as I can remember.
Really? You won't get me to believe that.
But you can see from the documents, honored Natalia Stepanovna, oxen meadows, it's true, were once the subject of dispute. But now everybody knows that they are mine. There's nothing to argue about. You see, my aunt's grandmother gave the free use of these meadows in perpetuity to the peasants of your father's grandfather, in return for which they were to make bricks for her. The peasants belonging to your father's grandfather had the free use of the meadows for 40 years and had to go into the habit of regarding them as their own. When it happened that...
No, it isn't like that. Both my grandfather and great-grandfather reckon their land extended to the burnt marsh, which means the oxen meadows are ours. I don't see what there is to argue about. It's simply silly.
I'll show you the documents, Natalia Stepanovna.
No, you're simply joking or making fun of me. What a surprise. We've had that land for nearly 300 years, and suddenly we're told that it isn't ours? Ivan Vasilovich, I can hardly believe my own ears. These meadows aren't worth much to me. They only come to about 5 desiatins, and are worth perhaps 300 rubles. But I can't stand unfairness. Say what you will, but I cannot stand unfairness.
Hear me out, I implore you. The peasants of your father's grandfather, as I have already had the honor of explaining to you, used to bake bricks for my aunt's grandmother. Not my aunt's grandmother. And now, my aunt's grandmother wishing to make them a present.
I can't make heads or tail of all this about aunts and grandfathers and grandmothers. The meadows are ours, and that's all.
Mine.
Ours. You can go on proving it for 2 days on end, and you can go on and put on 15 dress jackets. But I tell you, they're ours. I don't want anything of yours, and I don't want to give up anything of mine. So there.
Natalia Ivanovna, I don't want the meadows, but I'm acting on principle. If you like, I'll make you a present of them.
I can make you a present of them myself, because they're mine. Your behavior, Ivan Vasilovich, is strange, to say the least. Up until this, we have always thought of you as a good neighbor, a friend. Last year we lent you our threshing machine, although on that account we had to put off our own threshing till November. But you behaved to us as if we were gypsies. Giving me my own land indeed. No, really, that's not at all neighborly. In my opinion, it's even impudent. If you want to know...
Can you make out that I'm a land grabber? Madam, never in my life have I grabbed anybody's land, and I shan't allow anybody to accuse me of having done so. Oxen Meadows are mine.
It's not true, they're ours.
Mine!
It's not true, and I'll prove it. I'll send my mowers out to the meadows this very day.
What?
My mowers will be there this very day.
I'll give it to them in the neck.
You dare.
Oxen Meadows are mine. You understand? Mine!
Please don't shout. You can shout yourself hoarse in your own house, but here I must ask you to restrain yourself.
If it wasn't, madam, for this awful, excruciating palpitation, if my whole inside wasn't upset, I'd talk to you in a different way. Oxen Meadows are mine!
Ours!
Mine!
Ours!
Mine!
What's the matter? What are you shouting out?
Papa, please tell to this gentleman who owns the Oxen Meadows, we or he.
Darling, the meadows are ours.
But please, Stepan Stepanovich, how can they be yours? Do be reasonable, man. My aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary and free use of your grandfather's peasants. The peasants used the land for 40 years and got as accustomed to it as if it was their own. When it happened that...
Excuse me, my precious. You forget just this, that the peasants didn't pay your grandmother and all that because the meadows were in dispute and so on. And now everybody knows that they're ours. It means that you haven't seen the plan.
I'll prove to you that they're mine.
You won't prove it, my darling.
I shall!
You one! Why you like that? You won't prove anything just by yelling. I don't want anything of yours and don't intend to give up what I have. Why should I? And you know, my beloved, that if you propose to go on arguing about it, I'd much sooner give up the meadows to the peasants than to you. There!
I don't understand. How have you the right to give away somebody else's property?
You may take it that I know whether I have the right or not, because, young man, I'm not used to being spoken to in that tone of voice and so on. I, young man, am twice your age and ask you to speak to me without agitating yourself and all that.
No, you just think I'm a fool and want to have me on. You call my land yours and then you want me to talk to you calmly and politely? Good neighbors don't behave like that, Stepan Stepanich. You're not a neighbor, you're a grabber.
What's that? What did you say?
Papa, send the mowers out to the meadows at once.
What did you say, sir?
Oxen Meadows are ours, and I shan't give them up. I shan't give them up. I shan't give them up.
We'll see. I'll have the matter taken to court and then I'll show you.
To court? You can take it to court and all that. You can. I know you. You're just on the lookout for a chance to go to court and all that. You pettifogger. All your people were like that. All of them.
Never mind about my people. The Lomos have all been honorable people, and not one has ever been tried for embezzlement, like your grandfather.
You Lomos have had lunacy in your family. All of you.
All.
Your grandfather was a drunkard, and your younger aunt, Nastasia Mihailovna, ran away with an architect and so on.
And your mother was humpbacked. Something pulling inside me. My head! Help! Water!
Your father was a guzzling gambler.
And there haven't been many backbiters equal to your aunt.
My left foot has gone to sleep. You're an intriguer. Oh, my heart. And it's an open secret that before the last elections, I can see the stars. Where's my hat?
It's low, it's dishonest, it's mean.
And you're just a malicious, double-faced intriguer. Yes.
Here's my hat. My heart. Which way? Where's the door? Oh, I think I'm dying. My foot's gone numb.
And don't set foot in my house again!
Take it to court, we'll see.
Lemove staggers out,
Devil, take him!
walks about in excitement.
What a rascal. What trust can one have in one's neighbors after that?
The villain! The scarecrow!
The monster. First he takes our land, and then he has the impudence to abuse us.
And that blind hen, yes, that turnip ghost has the confounded cheek to make a proposal and so on. What? A proposal?
What proposal?
Why, he came here so as to propose to you.
To propose to me? Why didn't you tell me so before?
So he dresses up in evening clothes, the stuffed sausage, the wizen-faced frump.
To propose to me? Bring him back! Bring him back here!
Bring whom here?
Quick, I'm ill, fetch him!
What's that? What's the matter with you? Ah, unhappy man that I am. I'll shoot myself. I'll hang myself. We've done for her.
I'm dying, fetch him!
At once. Don't yell.
What have they done to me? Fetch him, fetch him!
He's coming and so on. Devil take him. Huff. Talk to him yourself. I don't want to.
Fetch him!
He's coming, I tell you. Oh, what a burden, Lord, to be the father of a grown-up daughter. I'll cut my throat. I will indeed. We cursed him, abused him, drove him out, and it's all you. You!
No, it was you.
I tell you, it's not my fault. Now you talk to him yourself.
My heart's palpitating awfully. My foot's gone to sleep. There's something keeps pulling inside me.
Forgive us, Ivan Vasilovich. We were all a little heated. I remember now. Oxen Meadows are really yours.
My heart's been awfully. My meadows? My eyebrows are both twitching.
The meadows are yours. Yes, yours. Do sit down. We were wrong.
I did it on principle. My land is worth little to me, but the principle.
Yes, the principle is just so. Now let's talk of something else.
The more so as I have evidence. My aunt's grandmother gave the land to your father's grandfather's peasants.
Yes, let's let that pass. I wish I knew how to get him started. Are you going to start shooting soon?
I'm thinking of having a go at the Black Hawk, honored Natalia Stepanovna, after the harvest. Oh, have you heard? Just think what a misfortune I've had. My dog, Guess, whom you know, has gone lame.
What a pity. Why?
I don't know. Must have got twisted or bitten by some other dog. My very best dog, to say nothing of the expense. I gave Mironov 125 rubles for him.
It was too much, Ivan Vasilovich.
I think it was very cheap. He's a first-rate dog.
Papa gave 85 rubles for his Squeezer, and Squeezer is heaps better than Guess.
Squeezer better than Guess?
Of course he's better. Of course Squeezer is young. He may develop a bit, but on Pointy's pedigree, he's better than anything that even Volchensky has got.
Excuse me, Natalia Stepanovna, but you forget that he is overshot. And an overshot always means the dog is a bad hunter.
Overshot, is he? That's the first time I hear it.
I assure you that his lower jaw is shorter than the upper.
Have you measured?
Yes. He's all right at following, of course, but if you want him to get a hold of anything.
In the first place, our Squeezer is a thoroughbred animal, the son of harness and chisels. Why, there's no getting a pedigree of your dog at all. He's old and as ugly as a worn-out cab horse.
He is old, but I wouldn't take 5 Squeezers for him. Why, how can you? Guess is a dog. As for Squeezer, well, it's too funny to argue. Anybody you like has a dog as good as Squeezer, you may find them under every bush almost. 25 rubles would be a handsome price for him.
There's some demon of contradiction in you today, Ivan Vasilovich. First you pretend the meadows are yours, now the Guess is better than Squeezer. I don't like people who don't say what they mean, because you know perfectly well that Squeezer is 100 times better than your silly guess. Why do you want to say, isn't it?
I see, Natalia Stepanovna, that you consider me either blind or a fool. You must realize that Squeezer is overshot.
It's not true.
He is.
It's not true.
Why shout, madam?
Why talk rot? It's awful. It's time your guess was shot and you compare him with Squeezer.
Excuse me. I cannot continue the discussion. My heart is palpitating.
I've noticed that those hunters argue the most who know the least.
Madam, please be silent. My heart is going to pieces. Shut up!
I shan't shut up until you acknowledge that Squeezer is 100 times better than your guess.
100 times worse. Be hanged to your Squeezer, his head, eyes, shoulder.
There's no need to hang your silly guess. He's half dead already.
Shut up! My heart's bursting.
I shan't shut up.
What's the matter now?
Papa, tell us truly, which is the better dog, our Squeezer or his guess?
Stepan Stepanovich, I implore you to tell me just one thing. Is your Squeezer overshot or not? Yes or no?
And suppose he is? What does it matter? He's the best dog in the district for all that and so on.
But isn't my guess better? Really, now?
Don't excite yourself, my precious one. Allow me. Your guess certainly has his good points. He's purebred, firm on his feet, has well-sprung ribs and all that. But my dear man, if you want to know the truth, that dog has 2 defects. He's old and he's short in the muzzle.
Excuse me, my heart. Let's take the facts. You will remember that on the Murasinsky hunt, my guess ran neck and neck with the Count's dog, while your Squeezer was left a whole verse behind.
He got left behind because the Count's whipper-in hit him with his whip.
And with good reason. The dogs are running after a fox when Squeezer goes and starts worrying a sheep.
It's not true, my dear fellow. I'm very liable to lose my temper, and so just because of that, let's stop arguing. You started because everybody is always jealous of everybody else's dogs. Yes, we're all like that. You two, sir, aren't blameless. You no sooner notice that some dog is better than your guest, and you'd begin with this, that, and the other, and all that. I remember everything.
I remember too.
I remember too. What do you remember?
My heart. My foot's gone to sleep. I can't.
My heart. What sort of hunter are you? You ought to go and lie in the kitchen oven and catch black beetles, knock off your foxes. My heart.
Yes, really. What sort of a hunter are you anyway? You ought to sit at home with your palpitations and not go tracking animals. You could go hunting, but you only go to argue with people and interfere with their dogs and so on. Let's change the subject in case I lose my temper. You're not a hunter at all anyway.
And are you a hunter? You only go hunting to get in with the Count and intrigue. Oh, my heart. You're an intriguer.
What? I, an intriguer? Shut up!
Intriguer.
Boy, pup,
Old rat. Jesuit.
shut up or I'll shoot you like a partridge, you fool!
Everybody knows that. Oh, my heart. Your late wife used to beat you. My feet, temples, marks. I fall. I fall.
And you're under the slipper of your housekeeper.
There. My heart's burst. My shoulders come off. Where's my shoulder? I die. Doctor.
Boy, milksop, fool. I'm sick.
What sort of hunter are you? You can't even sit on a horse. Popo, what's the matter with him? Papa, look, Papa! Ah, Ivan Vasilyevich is dead!
I'm sick. I can't breathe. Air.
He's dead, Ivan Vasilyevich! He Ivan Vasilovich, what have you done to me? He's dead. A doctor, a doctor.
Oh, what is it? What's the matter?
He's dead, he's dead.
Who's dead? So he is. My word, water, a doctor.
Lifts a tumbler to Lamov's mouth.
Drink this. No, he doesn't drink. It means he's dead and all that. I'm the most unhappy of men. Why don't I put a bullet into my brain? Why haven't I cut my throat yet? What am I waiting for? Give me a knife! Give me a pistol! He seems to be coming round. Drink some water. That's right.
I see stars. Mist. Where am I?
Hurry up and get married and, well, to the devil with you. She's willing.
He puts Lamov's hand into his daughter's.
She's willing and all that. I give you my blessing and so on. Only leave me in peace.
What? To whom?
She's willing. Well, kiss and be damned to you.
He's alive. Yes, yes, I'm willing.
Kiss each other.
Kiss whom?
They kiss.
Very nice, too. Excuse me, what's this all about? Oh, now I understand. My heart, stars, I'm happy, Natalia Stepanovna.
Kisses her hand.
My foot's gone to sleep.
I'm happy too.
What a weight off my shoulders. Oof.
But you still will admit now the guess is worse than Squeezer.
Better.
Worse!
Well, that's a way to start your family biz. Have some champagne.
He's better.
Worse, worse, worse!
Champagne, champagne. The wedding.
The scene is laid in one of the rooms of Andronov's restaurant, a brilliantly illuminated room, a large table laid for supper. Waiters in dress jackets are fussing round the table. An orchestra behind the scene is playing this music of the last figure of a quadrille.
No, no, no.
Have pity on us, have pity!
No, no, no.
You can't go on like this. Where are you off to? What about the Grand Run? Run, s'il vous plaît.
You had much better be dancing than upsetting me with your speeches.
I'm not a Spinoza or anybody of that sort to go making figures of eight with my legs. I'm a serious man and I have a character. I see no amusement in empty pleasures. But it isn't just a matter of dances. You must excuse me, Maman, but there is a good deal in your behavior which I'm unable to understand. For instance, in addition to objects of domestic importance, you promised also to give me, with your daughter, 2 lottery tickets. Where are they?
My head's aching a little. I expect it's on account of the weather. If only it thawed.
You won't get out of it like that. I only found out today that those tickets are in pawn. You must excuse me, Maman, but it's only swindlers who behave like that. I'm not doing this out of egoisticism. I don't want your tickets, but on principle. And I don't allow myself to be done by anybody. I have made your daughter happy. And if you don't give me the tickets today, I'll make short work of her. I'm an honorable man.
Looks around the table and counts up the covers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The cook asks if you would like the ices served with rum, Madeira, or by themselves.
With rum. And tell the manager that there's not enough wine. Tell him to prepare some more eau sauterne. You also promised and agreed that a general was to be here to supper. And where is he?
That isn't my fault, my dear.
Whose fault, then?
It's Andrei Andreevich's fault. Yesterday he came to see us and promised to bring a perfectly real general. I suppose he couldn't find one anywhere, or he'd have brought him. You think we don't mind? We'd begrudge our child nothing? The general, of course.
But there's more. Everybody, including yourself, Ramon, is aware of the fact that Yetz, the telegraphist, was after Dashenka before I proposed to her. Why did you invite him? Surely you knew it would be unpleasant for me.
Oh, how can you? Epaminondas Maximovich was married himself only the other day, and you've already tired me and Dashenka out with your talk. What will you be like in a year's time? You're horrid, really horrid.
Then you don't like to hear the truth? Ha! Oh, then behave honorably. I only want you to do one thing. Be honorable.
Couples dancing the Grand Rond come in at one door and out the other end. The first couple are Dashenka with one of the groomsmen. The last are Yats and Zemulkina. These two remain behind. Gigolo and Bimba enter and go up the table. Promenade! Monsieur! Promenade! Promenade!
Have pity, adorable Anna Martinova.
Oh, what a man. I've already told you that I've no voice today.
I implore you to sing just one note. Have pity, just one note.
I am tired of you.
No, you're simply heartless, if to be so cruel, if I may express myself, and to have such a beautiful, beautiful voice. With such a voice, if you'll forgive my using the word, you shouldn't be a midwife, but sing at concerts, public gatherings. For example, how divinely you do that fiatura that I loved you, love was vain then. Exquisite.
I loved you and may love again. Is that it?
That's it, beautiful.
No, I've no voice today. Oh, there. Wave this fan for me. It's hot. Epaminondas Maximovich, why are you so melancholy? A bridegroom shouldn't be. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, you wretch? Well, what are you so thoughtful about?
Marriage is a serious step. Everything must be considered from all sides thoroughly.
What beastly septics you all are. I feel quite suffocated with you all around. Give me atmosphere. Do you hear? Give me atmosphere.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Fan me. Oh, I shall feel I have a heart attack in a minute. Tell me, please. Why do I feel so suffocated?
It's because you're sweating.
Flo, how vulgar you are. Don't dare use such words.
Beg pardon. Of course, if you're used, it may have, if I may say so, to aristocratic society and...
Oh, leave me alone. Give me poetry, delight. Fan me. Fan me.
Let's have another. What? One can always drink. So long only, Harlampy Spiridonovich, as one doesn't forget one's business. Drink and be merry. And if you can drink at someone else's expense, then why not drink? You can drink. Your health. Do you have tigers in Greece? Yes. And lions? And lions too. In Russia, there's nothing. And in Greece, there's everything. My father and my uncle and my brothers. And here, there's nothing. And are there whales in Greece? Yes, there's everything.
Why are they all eating and drinking like that for? It's time for everybody to sit down to supper. Don't keep on shoving your fork into the lobsters. They're for the general. He may come yet.
And are there lobsters in Greece? Yes, that is everything. And civil servants?
I can imagine what the atmosphere is like in Greece.
There must be a lot of swindling. The Greeks are just like the Armenians and the Gypsies. They sell you a sponge or a goldfish, and all the time they're looking out for a chance of getting something extra out of you. Let's have another, what?
What do you want to go on having another for? It's time everybody sat down to supper. It's past 11.
If it's time, then it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Supper, young people?
Dear visitors, please be seated.
Give me poetry. And he, the rebel, seeks the storm, as if the storm can give him peace. Give me the storm!
Wonderful woman! I'm in love up to my ears!
Dashinka Moskovoy, groomsmen, various ladies and gentlemen, etc., all noisily seat themselves at the table. There is a minute's pause while the band plays a march. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. We are going to have a great many toasts. Don't let's wait, but begin at once. Ladies and gentlemen, newly married.
Yay!
Appleberg and Dashinka kiss each other.
Beautiful, beautiful! I must say, ladies and gentlemen, giving honor where it is due, that this room and accommodation are splendid. Excellent, wonderful! Only there's only one thing we haven't got. Electric light, if I may say so. Into every country, electric light has already been introduced. Only Russia lags behind.
Electricity. In my opinion, electricity is a swindle. They put a live coal in and think that you don't see them. No, if you want a light, then you don't take a coal, but something real, something special that you can get a hold of. You must have a fire, understand? Which is natural and not just an invention.
If you'd ever seen an electric battery and how it's made up, you'd think differently.
Don't want to see it. It's a swindle, a fraud on the public. They want to squeeze our last breath out of us. We know then these. And young man, instead of defending a swindle, you would be much better occupied if you had another yourself and poured out some for other people. Yes?
I entirely agree with you, Papa. Why, start a learned discussion. I myself have no objection to talking about every possible scientific discovery, but this isn't the time for all that. What do you think, ma chère?
They want to show how educated they are, and so they always talk about things we can't understand.
Thank God we've lived our time without being educated. And here we are, marrying off our third daughter to an honest man. And if you think we're uneducated, then what do you want to come here for? Go to your educated friends.
I, Nastasia Timofeyeva, have always held your family in respect. And if I did start talking about electric lighting, it doesn't mean that I'm proud. I'll drink to show you. I've always secretly wished Daria Ekonomeva a good husband. In these days, Nastasia Timofeyevna, it is difficult to find a good husband. Nowadays, everyone is on the lookout for a marriage where there is profit, money.
That's a hint.
I wasn't hinting at anything. Present company is always expected. I was only in general. Oh, please. Everybody knows you're marrying for love. The dowry is quite trifling.
No, it isn't trifling. You be careful what you say. Besides 1,000 rubles of good money, we're giving 3 dresses, the bed, and all the furniture. You won't find another dowry like that in a hurry.
I didn't mean the furniture is splendid, of course, and the dresses, but I never hinted at what they're getting offended at.
Don't you go making hints. We respect you on account of your parents, and we've invited you to the wedding, and here you go talking. If you knew that Epimond Maximovich was marrying for profit, why didn't you say so before? I brought her up. I fed her. I nursed her. I care for her more than if she was an emerald jewel, my little girl.
And you go and believe him? Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to you. And as for you, Mr. Yatz, although you are acquainted with me, I shan't allow you to behave like this in another's house. Please, get out of this.
What do you mean?
I want you to be as straightforward as I am. In short, please get out.
Leave him alone. Sit down. Is it worth it? Let it be. Stop it now.
I don't understand. Please, I'll go. Only you first give me the 5 rubles which you borrowed from me last year on the strength of a piqué waistcoat, if I may say so. Then I'll just have another drink and I'll go. Only give me the money first.
Sit down. That's enough. Is it worth it for such trifles? The health of the bride's parents. Yevdokum Zaharich. Nastasia Timofeyevna.
I thank you, dear guests. I am very grateful to you for not having forgotten and for having conferred this honor upon us without being standoffish. And you must not think that I'm a rascal or that I'm trying to swindle anybody. I'm speaking from my heart, from the purity of my soul. I wouldn't deny anything to good people. We thank you very humbly.
Mama, why are you crying? I'm so happy.
Maman is disturbed at your coming separation, but I should advise her rather to remember the last talk we had.
Don't cry, Nastasia Timofeyevna. Just think, what are human tears anyway? Just petty psychiatry and nothing more.
And are there any red-haired men in Greece?
Yes, there's everything. But you don't have our kinds of mushroom. Yes, we've got them and everything.
Alampis Spiridonowitch, it's your turn to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, a speech.
Speech. Your turn.
Why? I don't understand. What is it?
No, you can't refuse. It's your turn. Get up.
I can't say what. There's Russia and there's Greece. There's people in Russia and people in Greece. And there's people swimming the sea in Caribs, which means sups, and people on the railway trains. I understand. We are Greeks and you are Russians. And I want nothing. I can tell you, there's Russia and there's Greece.
Wait, ladies and gentlemen, don't eat now. Wait, just 1 minute. Nastasia Timofeyevna, just come here if you don't mind. Listen, the general's coming. I found one at last. I'm simply worn out. A real general, a solid one. Old, you know, aged perhaps 80 or even 90.
When is he coming?
This minute. You'll be grateful to me all your life.
You're not deceiving me, Andre, darling.
Well now, am I a swindler? You needn't worry.
One doesn't like to spend money for nothing, Andre, darling.
Don't you worry. He's not a general. He's a dream. I said to him, "You've quite forgotten us, Your Excellency. It isn't kind of Your Excellency to forget your old friends. Nastasia Timofeyevna," I said to him, "she's very annoyed with you about it." And he says to me, "But my friend, how can I go when I don't know the bridegroom?" "Oh, nonsense, Your Excellency. Why stand on ceremony? The bridegroom," I said to him, "he's a fine fellow, very free and easy. He's a valuer, I said, at the law courts. And don't you think, Your Excellency, that he's some rascal, some knave of hearts? Nowadays, I said to him, even decent women are employed at the law courts. He slapped me on the shoulder. We smoked a Havana cigar each, and now he's coming. Wait a little, ladies and gentlemen, don't eat. Wait, please wait.
When is he coming?
This minute. When I left him, he was already putting on his galoshes. Wait a little, ladies and gentlemen. Don't eat yet.
The band should be told to play a march.
Musicians! A march! A march!
Mr. Renault,
Come in, Your Excellency. So glad you've come.
Oh, awfully.
We, Your Excellency, aren't celebrities. We aren't important, but quite ordinary. Don't think on that account that there's any fraud. We put good people into the best place. We begrudge nothing. Please.
Awfully glad.
Let me introduce to you, Your Excellency, the bridegroom, Epaminon Maximovich Aplombov, with his newly born, I mean his newly married wife, Ivan Mihailovich Yetz, employed on the telegraph, a foreigner of Greek nationality, a confectioner by trade, Harlampi Spiridonovich Dimba, Osip Lukic Babel Mandepsky, and so on and so on. The rest are just trash. Sit down, Your Excellency.
Awfully. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say 2 words to Andre. I say, old man, I'm a little put out. Why do you call me Your Excellency? I'm not a general. I don't rank as the equivalent of a colonel even.
I know. Only, Fyodor Yakovlevich, be a good man and let us call you Your Excellency. The family here, you see, is patriarchal. It respects the aged. It likes rank.
Oh, if it's like that, very well. Awfully.
Down, Your Excellency. Be so good as to have some of this, Your Excellency. Only forgive us for not being used to etiquette. We're plain people.
What? What? Oh, yeah, yes. In the old days, everybody used to live simply and was happy. In spite of my rank, I'm a man who lives plainly. Today, Andre comes to me and asks me to come here to the wedding. How should I go? I said, when I don't know them. It's not good manners. But he says, oh, they're good, simple, patriarchal people. Glad to see anybody. Well, if that's the case, why not? Very glad to come. It's very dull for me at home by myself. And if my presence at a wedding can make anybody happy, then I'm delighted to be here.
Then that's sincere, is it, Your Excellency? I respect that. I'm a plain man myself, without any deception, and I respect others who are like that. Eat, Your Excellency.
Is it long since you retired, Your Excellency?
Yes, quite, yes, but excuse me. Ooh, but what is this? The fish is sour. Bread is sour. Oh, I can't eat this.
Think or kiss each other.
Oh, a toast to your health. Yes. In the old days, everything was simple and everybody was glad. I love simplicity. I'm an old man. I retired in 1865. I'm 72. Yes, of course, in my younger days it was different, but you there, are you a sailor?
Yes, just so.
Aha, so yes. Oh, the Navy means hard work. There's a lot to think about and get a headache over. Every insignificant word has, so to speak, its special meaning. For instance, hoist your topsail, sheets, and mainsail. What's it mean? A sailor can tell you with almost mathematical precision.
The health of His Excellency Fyodor Yakovlevich Revunov Karaulov. Ura!
Yeah!
Ura!
Hurrah!
Ah,
Your Excellency, have just expressed yourself on the subject of hard work involved in a naval career. But is telegraphy any easier? Nowadays, Your Excellency, nobody is appointed to the telegraphs if he cannot read or write French and German. But the transmission of telegraphs is the most difficult thing of all. Awfully difficult. Just listen.
But what does that mean?
It means I honor you, Your Excellency, for your virtues. You think that's easy? Listen now.
Louder, I can't hear.
That means, Madam, how happy I am to hold you in my embraces.
What, madam, are you talking about? Oh, yeah, yes. Now, if there's a headwind, you must hoist your foretop halyards and topsail halyards. The order is, on the cross trees to the foretop halyards and topsail halyards. And at the same time, as the sails get loose, you take hold underneath of the foresail, and the foresail topsail halyards, stays, and braces.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There are a great many orders to give. Furl the topsail and the foretopsail gallant sail. What does that mean? It's very simple. It means that if the top and the top gallant sails are lifting the halyards, they must level the foretop and the foretop gallant halyards on the hoist. And at the same time, the top gallant braces, as needed, are loosened according to the direction of the wind.
Fyodor Yakovlevich, Madame Gigolov asked you to talk about something else. It's very dull for the guests who can't understand.
What? Who's dull? Young man, now, suppose the ship is lying by the wind on the starboard tack under full sail, and you've got to bring her forward to the wind. What's the order? Well, first you whistle up above.
Fyodor Yakovlevich, that's enough.
And as soon as the men are on deck, you give the order. To your places! What a life. You give orders, and at the same time, you've got to keep your eyes on the sailors who run around like flashes of lightning and get their sails and braces right. And at last, you can't restrain yourself, and you shout, "Good children!"
on this occasion, so to speak, on the day on which we have met together to honor our dear,
You got to remember all that. For instance, hoist the topsail halyards, lower the topsail gallants.
Why does he keep on interrupting? We shan't get it through a single speech like that.
We are dull people, Your Excellency, and don't understand a word of all that. But if you were to tell us something appropriate...
I've already had supper, thank you. Did you say there was goose? Oh, thanks. Yes. I remember the old days. It's pleasant, young man. You sail on that sea, you have no worries. And do you remember the joy of tacking? Oh, is there a sailor who doesn't glow at the memory of that maneuver? As soon as the word is given and the whistle blown and the crew begins to go up, it's as if an electric spark has run through them all. From the captain to the cabin boy, everybody's excited.
How dull. How dull.
Thank you. I've had supper. Everybody's ready and looks to the senior officer. He gives the command, "Stand by, gallants and topsail braces on the starboard side, main and counter braces to port." Twinkling, top sheets and jib sheets are pulled, taken to starboard. The ship takes the wind, and at last the sails fill out. The senior officer orders, "To the braces," and himself keeps his eyes on the mainsail. And when at last the sail is filling out, and the ship begins to turn, he yells at the top of his voice, "Let go the braces! Loose the main halyards!" Everything flies about. There's a general confusion for a moment, and everything is done without an error. The ship has been tacked up.
General, your manners! You ought to be ashamed of yourself at your age.
Did you say sausage? No, I haven't had any, thank you.
I say you ought to be ashamed of yourself at your age. General, your manners are awful.
Ladies and gentlemen, is it worth it? Really?
In the first place, I am not a general, but a second-class naval captain, which, according to the table of precedent, corresponds to a lieutenant colonel.
If you're not a general, then what did you go and take our money for? We never paid you money to behave like that.
What money?
You know what money? You know that you got 25 rubles from Andrei Androvich. You look out, Andrei. I never asked you to hire a man like that.
There now, let it drop. Is it worth it?
Paid? Hired? What is it?
Just let me ask you this. Did you receive 25 rubles from Andrei Andreevich?
What 25 rubles? Oh, that's what it is. Now I understand it all. How mean, how low.
Did you take the money?
I haven't taken any money. How mean, how low to insult an old man, a sailor, an officer who has served long and faithfully as if he, and if you were decent people, I could call out somebody. But what can I do now? Where's the door? Waiter, show me out. Waiter, how mean, how low.
Andrei, where are those 25 rubles?
Is it worthwhile bothering about such trifles? What does it matter? Everybody's happy here. And here you go. The health of the bride and bridegroom. A march! A march! The health of the bride and bridegroom.
My beauty, my beauty!
Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, if I may say so.
The anniversary. The action takes place at the bank, the private office of the chairman of directors. On the left is a door leading into the public department. There are 2 desks. The furniture aims at a deliberately luxurious effect, with armchairs covered in velvet, flowers, statues, carpets, and a telephone. It is midday. Kieran is alone. He wears long felt boots and is shouting through the door.
Send out to the chemist for 15 kopecks worth of valerian drops and tell them to bring some drinking water into the director's office. This is the 100th time I've asked. Oh, I'm absolutely tired out. This is the 4th day I've been working without a chance of shutting my eyes. From morning to evening, I work here. From evening to morning, I'm at home. And I've got an inflammation all over me. I'm hot and cold. I cough and my legs ache. And there's something dancing before my eyes. Oh, a scoundrel, a chairman, the brute, is going to read some report at a general meeting. Our bank and its present and future. You'd think he was a competitor. Let's see, 2, 1, 4, 6, 7, X, 7, 0, 1, 6. He just wants to throw dust into people's eyes. So I sit here and work for him like a galley slave. This report of his is poetic fiction and nothing more. And here I've got to sit all day and add figures. Devil take his soul. I can't stand it. Oh, let's see. This is 1, 3, 7, 2, 1, 0. He promised to reward me for my work. If everything goes well today and the public is properly put into blinkers, he has promised me a gold charm and 300 rubles bonus. We'll see. Yes, but if my work goes for nothing, then you'd better look out. I'm very excitable. I lose my temper. I'm capable of committing some crime, so look out. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I am extremely grateful.
Shipushin wears a frock coat and white tie. He carries an album which has been just presented to him. At the door, Shipushin addresses the outer office.
This present, my dear colleagues, will be preserved to the day of my death as a memory of the happiest days of my life. Yes, gentlemen, once more, I thank you. Ah, my dear, my respected Kuzma Nikolaevich.
I have the honor to congratulate you, Andreas Andreevich, on the 50th anniversary of our bank, and I hope that it will all...
Thank you, my dear sir. Thank you. I think that in view of the unique character of this day, as it is an anniversary, we may kiss each other.
Mwah, mwah.
I am very glad. Very, very glad. Thank you for your service, for everything. If in the course of the time during which I have had the honor to be chairman of this bank, anything useful has been done, the credit is due more than to anybody else, my colleagues. Yes, 15 years. 15 years, as my name is Shapuchin. Ah, where's my report? Is it getting on?
Yes, there's only 5 pages left.
Excellent. Then it will be ready by 3.
If nothing occurs to disturb me, I'll get it done. Nothing of importance is left now.
Splendid. Splendid. As my name's Shapuchin. The general meeting will be at 4. If you please, my dear fellow, give me the first half. I'll peruse it. Quick. I base enormous hopes on this report. It is my profession, therefore, or better still, my firework. My firework, as my name is Shapuchin. I'm hellishly tired. My gout kept on giving me trouble last night. All the morning I was running about, and then these excitements, ovations, agitations. I'm tired.
2, not, 3, 9, 2, not. Oh, I can't see straight. All these figures. Let's see. 3, 1, 6, 4, 1, 5.
Another unpleasantness. This morning your wife came to see me and complained about you once again. Said that last night you threatened her and her sister with a knife. Kuzma Nikolaevich, what do you mean by that? Oh.
As it's our anniversary, Andrei Andreevich, I ask for a special favor. Please, if it's only out of respect for my toil, don't interfere in my family life, please.
Yours is an impossible character, Kuzma Nikolaevich. You're an excellent and respected man, but you behave to women like some scoundrel. Yes, really. I don't understand why you hate them so.
And I wish I could understand why you love them so.
The employees that just presented me with an album and the directors, as I've heard, are going to give me an address in a silver loving cup. Very nice. As my name's Shapuchin. It isn't excessive. A certain pomp is essential to the reputation of the bank. Devil take it. You know everything, of course. I composed the address myself, and I bought the cup myself too. Well then, there was 45 rubles for the cover of the address, but you can't do without that. They never have thought of it for themselves. Look at the furniture. Just look at it. They say I'm stingy, that all I want is the locks on the door should be polished, that the employees should wear fashionable ties, and that a fat hall porter should stand by the door. No, sirs. Polished locks and a fat porter mean a good deal. I can behave as I like at home, eat and sleep like a pig, get drunk.
But please don't make hints.
Nobody's making hints. What an impossible character yours is. As I was saying, at home I can live like a tradesman, a parvenu, and be up to any gains I like. But here, everything must be en grand. This is a bank. Here, every detail must be imponderant, so to speak, and have a majestic appearance. My service to the bank has been just this. I've raised its reputation. A thing of immense importance is tone. Immense, as my name's Shapuchin. My dear man, a deputation of shareholders may come here at any moment. And there you are, in felt boots, wearing that scarf, and some absurdly colored jacket. You might have put on a frock coat, or at any rate, a dark jacket.
And my health matters much more to me than your shareholders. I have inflammation all over me.
But you admit that it's untidy. You spoil the ensemble.
If the deputation comes, I can go and hide myself. It won't matter if 7, 1, 2, 7, not. I don't like untidiness myself. 7, 2, and 9. I can't stand untidiness. It would have been wiser for you not to have invited the ladies today to this anniversary.
Oh, that's nothing.
I know you're going to have the hall filled with them tonight to make a good show, but you look out or they'll spoil everything. They cause all sorts of mischief and disorder.
On the contrary, feminine society elevates.
Yes. Your wife seems intelligent, but on Monday of last week, she let something off that upset me for 2 days. In front of a lot of people, she suddenly asked, "Is it true that our bank, my husband brought up a lot of shares of the Drzyski Bank, which have been falling on the exchange? Oh, my husband is so annoyed about it." This in front of people. Why do you tell them everything? I don't understand. Do you want them to get you into some serious trouble?
Well, that's enough. Enough! All that's too dull for an anniversary. Which reminds me, by the way, my wife ought to be here soon. I really ought to have gone to the station to meet the poor little thing, but there's no time. And I'm tired. I must say, I'm not glad of her. That is to say, I am glad, but I'd be gladder if she only stayed another couple of days with her mother. She'll want me to spend the whole evening with her tonight, whereas we have arranged a little excursion for ourselves. Oh, my nerves have already started dancing me about. They are so strained that I think the very smallest trifle would be enough to make me break into tears. No, I must be strong, as my name's Shapuchin.
Tatiana Alexeyevna Chipuchin is in a waterproof with a little traveling satchel slung across her shoulder.
Ah, in the nick of time.
Darling.
Runs to her husband, a prolonged kiss.
We were only speaking of you just now.
Were you very dull without me? Are you well? I haven't been home yet. I came here straight from the station. I've a lot to tell you. I couldn't wait. I shan't take off my clothes. I'll only stay a minute. Good morning, Kuzma. Is everything all right at home?
Yes, quite. And you know, you've got to look plumper and better this week. Well, what sort of a time did you have?
Oh, splendid. Mama and Katya send their regards. Vasil Andreevich sends you a kiss. Aunt sends you a jar of jam and is annoyed because you don't write. Zima sends you a kiss. Oh, if only you knew what's happened, if only you knew. I'm even frightened to tell you. If only you knew. But I see in your eyes that you are sorry to see me.
On the contrary, darling.
Poor Katya. I am so sorry for her, so sorry.
This is the bank's anniversary today, darling. We may get a deputation of the shareholders at any moment, and you're not dressed.
Oh, yes, the anniversary. I congratulate you, gentlemen, and I wish you... So, it means that today's the day of the meeting, the dinner. That's good. And do you remember that beautiful address which you spent such a long time composing for the shareholders? Will it be read today?
My dear, we don't talk about these things. You really better get home.
Oh, in a minute, I'll tell you everything in 1 minute and go. I'll tell you from the very beginning. Well, when you were seeing me off, you remember I was sitting next to that stout lady, and I began to read. I don't like to talk on the train. I read for 3 stations and didn't say a word to anyone. Well, then the evening set in, and I felt so mournful, you know, with such sad thoughts. A young man was sitting opposite me, not a bad-looking fellow, a brunette. Well, we fell into conversation. A sailor came along, then some other student or other. I told them I wasn't married, and they did look after me. We chattered till midnight. The brunette kept on telling the most awfully funny stories, and the sailor, he kept on singing. My chest began to ache from laughing. And when the sailor, those sailors, when he got to know my name was Tatiana, do you know what he sang? Anjin, don't let me conceal it. I love Tatiana madly.
Tanya, dear, you're disturbing Kuzma Mikhailovich. Go home, dear. Later on.
No, let him hear if he wants to. It's awfully interesting. I'll end in a minute. Cereza came to meet me at the station. Some young man or other turns up. An inspector of taxes, I think. Quite handsome, especially in the eyes. Cereza introduced me, and the three of us rode off together. It was lovely weather.
You can't. What do you want?
What are you dragging at me for? What else? I want him himself. I have the honor, Your Excellency. I am the wife of a civil servant, Natasya Fyodorovna Mershutkina.
What do you want?
Well, you see, Your Excellency, my husband was ill for 5 months, and while he was at home getting better, he was suddenly dismissed for no reason, Your Excellency. And when I went to get his salary, they, you see, deducted 24 rubles, 36 kopecks from it. What for, I asked. They said, well, he drew it from the employee's account, and the others had to make it up. How can that be? How could he draw anything without my permission? No, Your Excellency, I'm a poor woman. My lodgers are all I have to live on. I'm weak and defenseless. Everybody does me some harm, and nobody has a kind word for me.
Excuse me.
Yes, but first last week, I suddenly received a letter from my mother. She writes that a certain Grindelveski has proposed to my sister Katya. A nice, modest young man, but with no means of his own and no assured position. And unfortunately, just think of it, Katya is absolutely gone on him. What's to be done? Mama writes telling me to come to the office at once and influence Katya and...
Excuse me, Tatiana Alexeyevna. You made me lose my place. You want talking about your mama and Katya? I understand nothing. I've lost my place.
What does that matter? You listen when a lady is talking to you. Why are you so angry today? Are you in love?
Excuse me, Mrs. Marchukina, but what is this? I can't make heads or tails of it.
Oh, are you in love? You're blushing.
Tanya, dear, do go out in the public office for a moment. I shan't be long.
All right.
I don't understand any of this, Miss Marchukina. Now, you've obviously come to the wrong place. Your petition doesn't concern us at all. You should go to the department in which your husband was employed.
I've been there a good many times these 5 months, and they wouldn't even look at my petition. I'd given up all hopes, but thanks to my son-in-law, Boris Matveyevich, I thought of coming to you. You go, mother, he says, and apply to Mr. Shapuchin. He's an influential man and can do anything. Help me, Your Excellency.
We can't do anything for you, Mrs. Marchukina. You must understand that, so far as I can gather, your husband was in the employ of the Army Medical Department, while this is a private commercial concern, a bank. Don't you understand that?
Your Excellency, I can produce a doctor's certificate of my husband's illness. Here it is. Just look at it.
That's all right. I quite believe you, but it's not our business. She's disturbing the employees. Now, Mrs. Marchukina, it's strange and even silly. Surely your husband knows where you ought to apply.
Your Excellency, I don't let him know anything. He just cried out, "It isn't your business. Get out of this." And
Madam, I repeat, your husband was in the employ of the Army Medical Department, and this is a bank, a private commercial concern.
yes. I understand, my dear. In that case, Your Excellency, just order them to pay me 15 rubles. I don't mind taking that to be going on with.
Oh,
Andrei Andreevich, I'll never finish the report at this rate.
just a moment. Mrs. Marchukina, I can't get any sense of you. But if you understand that you're taking this business here is as absurd as if you took a divorce petition to a chemist or into a gold to say's office.
Can I come in, Andre?
Just 1 minute, dear. Mrs. Machukina, what has it got to do with us if you haven't been paid? As it happens, madam, this is an anniversary today. We're busy, and somebody may be coming here at any moment. Excuse me.
Your Excellency, have pity on me. An orphan. I'm a weak, defenseless woman. I'm tired to death. I'm having trouble with my lodgers, and on account of my husband, and I've got the house to look after, and my son-in-law is out of work.
Mrs. Machukina, no, excuse me. I can't talk to you. My head's even in a whirl. You are disturbing us and making us waste our time. What business, as my name's Shapushkin? Kuzma Nikolaevich, will you please explain to Mrs. Machukina?
Mrs. Machukina, what do you want?
I'm a weak, defenseless woman. I may look all right, but if you were to take me to pieces, you wouldn't find a single healthy bit in me. I can hardly stand on my legs, and I've lost my appetite. I drank my coffee today and got no pleasure out of it.
I ask you, what do you want?
Tell them, dear, to give me 15 rubles, and a month later will do for the rest.
But haven't you been told perfectly plainly that this is a bank?
Yes, yes. And if you like, I can show you the doctor's certificate.
Have you got a head on your shoulders or what?
My dear, I'm asking for what's mine by law. I don't want anything that isn't mine.
I ask you, madam, have you got a head on your shoulders or what? Devil take me. I haven't got time to talk to you. I'm busy. That way, please, go.
And where's my money?
You haven't a head, but this.
What? Never mind, never mind. You can do that to your own wife, but I'm the wife of a civil servant. You can't do that to me.
Get out of this.
No, none of that.
If you don't get out this second, I'll call for the harpooner. Get out.
Never mind. I'm not afraid. I've seen the like of you before. Miser!
I don't think I've ever seen a more awful woman in my life. It's given me a headache. I tell you once more, do you hear me? If you don't get out of this, you old devil, I'll grind you into a powder. I've got such a character that I'm perfectly capable of laming you for life. I can commit a crime.
I've heard dogs barking before. I'm not afraid. I've seen the like of you before.
I can't stand it. I'm ill. I can't. Oh, they let the bank get filled with women. I cannot finish my report.
I don't want anybody else's money, but my own, according to the law. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, sitting in a government office in felt boots.
Following her husband, Tatiana Alexeyevna.
We spent the evening at the Bereshnitsky's. Katya was wearing a sky blue frock of foulard silk, low cut at the neck. She looks very well with her head done over her hair. And I did her hair myself. She was perfectly fascinating.
Yes, it's all very fascinating. They may be here at any moment.
Your Excellency!
What else? What do you want?
Your Excellency! This man tapped the table with his finger and then his head. You told him to look after my affair, but he insults me and says all sorts of things. I'm a weak, defenseless woman.
All right, madam. I'll see to it and take the necessary steps. Go away now. Later on, my gout's coming in.
Andrei Andreevich, send for the hall porter and have her turned out neck and crop. What else can we do?
No. She'll kick up a row and we aren't the only people in the building.
Your Excellency?
But I've got to finish my report. I won't have it in time. I won't.
Your Excellency, when shall I have the money? I want it now.
A remarkably beastly woman. Madam, I've already told you, this is a bank, a private commercial concern.
Be a father to me, Your Excellency. If the doctor's certificate isn't enough, I can get you another from the police. Tell them to give me the money.
Oh,
Mother, have you already been told that you're disturbing them? What right have you?
Mother, beautiful one, nobody will help me. All I do is to eat and drink. Now, I just didn't enjoy my coffee at all.
how much do you want?
24 rubles, 36 kopecks.
All right. Here are 25 rubles. Take it and go.
I thank you very humbly, Your Excellency.
It's time I went home, but I haven't done yet. I'll finish in 1 minute and go away. Oh, what a time we had! Yes! What a time. We went to spend the evening at the Bereshnitsky's. It was all right. Quite fun, but nothing in particular. Katya's devoted Grindelwesky was there, of course. Well, I talked to Katya, cried, and induced her to talk to Grindelwesky and refuse him. Well, I thought everything settled in the best possible way. I've quieted Mama down, saved Katya, and can be quiet myself. What do you think? Katya and I were going along the avenue just before supper, and suddenly we heard a shot. No, I can't talk about it calmly. No, I can't.
Oof.
We ran into the summer house, and there, poor Grindelwesky was lying with a pistol in his hand.
No! I can't stand it! I can't stand it! Mrs. Marchukina, what else do you want?
Your Excellency, can't my husband go back to his job?
Shot himself right in the heart here. And the poor man had fallen down senseless, and he was awfully frightened as he lay there and asked for a doctor. A doctor came soon and saved the unhappy man.
Your Excellency, can't my husband go back to his job?
No! I can't stand this! I can't stand it! Drive her away! Drive her away, I implore you!
Tatiana Alexeyevna, get out of this.
Not her, but this one! This
Tatiana
awful
Alexeyevna,
woman! That one!
get out of this. Get out.
What? What are you doing? Have you taken leave of your senses?
It's awful! I'm a miserable man! Drive her out! Out
Tatiana,
with her!
Tatiana Alexeyevna, out of it. I'll cripple you. I'll knock you out of shape. I'll break the law.
How dare you, you impudent fellow! Andre! Help! Andre!
Stop! I implore you! Not such a noise! Have pity on me!
Mrs. Machukina, out of this. Catch her, hit her, cut her into pieces.
Stop! I ask you! I implore you!
Little fathers, little fathers, little fathers!
Oh, help! Help, I'm sick! I am sick!
Jumps onto a chair, then falls onto the sofa and groans as if in a faint.
Mrs. Machukina,
Marchutkina.
beat her, cut her to pieces.
Oh, little fathers, it's all dark before me. Ah!
Falls senseless into Shapunchin's arm. There's a knock at the door. A voice announces the deputation. The deputation, reputation, occupation. A deputation of 5 men enters. They all wear frock coats. One carries the velvet-covered address, another the loving cup. Employees look in at the door from the public department. Tatiana Alexeyevna on the sofa and Mershutkina in Shipuchin's arms are both groaning.
Oh, oh.
Deeply respected and dear Andrei Andreevich, throwing a retrospective glance at the past history of our financial administration and reviewing in our minds its gradual development, we receive an extremely satisfactory impression. It is true that in the first period of its existence, the inconsiderable amount of its capital, and the absence of serious operations of any description, and also the indefinite aims of this bank, made us attach an extreme importance to the question raised by Hamlet, to be or not to be, and at one time there were even voices to be heard demanding our liquidation. But at that moment, you become the head of our concern. Your knowledge, energies, and your native tact were the causes of extraordinary success and widespread extension. The reputation of the bank
Oh,
Water?
oh.
the reputation the reputation of the bank has been raised by you to such a height that we are now the rivals of the best foreign concerns.
Deputation, reputation, occupation. Two friends that had a walk at night, held converse by the pale moonlight. Oh, tell me not, that youth is vain, that jealousy has turned my brain.
Then, throwing an objective glance at the present condition of things, we deeply respected and dear Andrei Andreevich, in that case, we'll do it later on. Yes, later on.